Beginning though on the Hawkesbury River, it is continuing to rise in suburbs northwest of Sydney as saturated catchments struggle to soak up heavy rainfall. Julia Bradley is live from Windsor. Julia, you were talking last hour about whether or not the peak might be nearing. What's the latest there?
Well, Tom, there was a forecast for the Hawkesbury River here at Windsor to hit about 14.3 metres. It's currently at about 13.8 and it does look like the river is slowly starting to recede, which is great news for residents in surrounding areas, but certainly still a difficult time. There's been a large amount of rain that's fallen here within the last few days, so the catchment's still really soaking up a lot of that rainfall. We've just jumped on a boat with the SES. They've been hard at work today and over the past 24 hours. Plenty of calls for assistance. I'm joined now by two members of the SES, Frank and Matt. Now, can you tell me what has been the focus today?
Today we're really just doing resupply and focusing on getting to all the isolated communities in the Hawkesbury around Windsor and Richmond and Pitttown, and also down in the Colo Valley and the McDonnell Valley, resupplying with both boats and also aircraft and helicopters.
And what kind of supplies are you getting out to these isolated communities?
So a lot of the communities are running low on fuel for their generators because there's no electricity in a lot of the areas, so fuel for them, and also just basic all the household needs that you need day to day, because quite a lot of them have been isolated for more than a week now, so they're starting to run low, and we're trying to get to all those places as much as we possibly can. Lots of requests for that sort of stuff.
And how many crews are out at the moment for this particular area?
So at the moment we've got a storm damage crew on each side of the river. We've got multiple boat crews, and also our unit covers the local general land rescue, which is like the car accidents and stuff like that. So we've got a crew on either side of the river for that.
Have you ever seen the river this high before?
Yes, it's done this a few times in living memory. Probably the closest one will be in 1978. And it came to close. This flood is close to that, but not quite.
Certainly higher than the event of March of last year.
Yeah, it's just a little bit higher than last year and not quite as high as 78. So,
how's the community been pulling together? What have you seen?
The community has been quite responsive to all the warnings and that, and they've kept themselves very safe. We really haven't had that many flood rescues to do, even though we have. People have driven into flood water and done things like that, but generally everyone's been really good and had heard the warnings, reacted to them, kept themselves really safe. So.
Perfect. Well, thank you for taking us out, and that is really the message at the moment, that the rainfall thankfully is easing. The focus now very much on getting supplies out to these isolated communities as efforts really turn to recovery in the coming days when these floodwaters recede.